What I want to do today is give you 6 tips on how to stop people pleasing for good. There's nothing wrong with being a nice person. I consider myself a nice person, but when you're too nice, when you're nicer to other people than yourself, and you want their approval so bad, you become a people pleaser. And when you're a people pleaser, you wind up living with regrets, you wind up feeling bad about yourself, and a lot of times wind up getting screwed over in the end. So I want to cover this for you here in this video and give you 6 things that you can do so that you can have more confidence, make better decisions, and stop worrying so much about other people's approval and put yourself first. I'm going to teach you how to do that here in this video. So I came up with this topic because I got a great question on how to stop being a people pleaser. I thought it was a super cool topic. It's something that I definitely used to be a lot more of a people pleaser. It's something that I have worked on a lot over the years, trying to make my own needs more important and not worry so much about what other people think of me. So it's something that I've worked on a lot and I've seen around so much. So I'm happy to cover that for you here in this video. I got 6 points for you and I want to jump right into them for you here. So my first tip is what I call the magic question, okay? And the magic question is a question you need to ask yourself whenever you feel like, okay, am I doing this for somebody else, or am I doing this for myself? And I'm having a tough time making this decision. The magic question to ask is, what is my ideal outcome and what would I like to happen in this situation? Okay, anything's going on, regardless of anyone else's emotions, regardless of what other people are thinking, what they're going to think of you, what do I want? What do I want to happen in this situation? You ask yourself that question, and then as long as it's not crazy outlandish or something like that, then you want to take the action that goes off of what you want to do rather than worrying what other people are going to think of you. A great example of this is, if someone invites you to something and you know that you kind of don't want to go, right? You're like, I don't really want to go to this. And it's not like I don't want to go to this because I'm feeling lazy or I'm not feeling social or whatever. It's like okay, I know that what's going to go on at this event or something, and I'm really not interested in it, so I don't want to go. So rather than saying, let me think about it, or trying to come up with excuses, or a lot of times people pleasers will show up to these events and go and do things that they really don't want to do just because they don't want to make someone else upset. Rather than doing that, say, what do I want in this situation? Say, actually, I don't want to go here and I'd rather go do something else. So you don't have to say it that way, but you say to the person, I'm not going to be able to make it to that. I have other plans. Or I even straight up tell my friends, people I'm close with, look, I'm not really interested in that. That's not something that I want to do, okay? I remember I went paddle boarding with a friend of mine, and I wasn't really interested in it, so I said no a few times. And then the caveat with this stuff is sometimes you want to be open-minded. So I was open-minded, I went and tried it out, and I was right. I didn't enjoy it, and it's not something I really want to do. So if someone asked me to do that in the future, I'm not going to go with them because I'm just going because they asked me or I want to make them happy. If you don't want to do something and it's something that you're really not going to be interested in, just saying no. You really need to work on saying no to things. And it's not saying no to the person in general. It's not saying no, you're a bad person. Just that's not something I'm interested in, or I don't feel up to doing that right now. Just say that. It's okay. People would rather you say no than flake, than ghost, than make excuses or whatever. By you being honest, people are going to give you much more respect than you trying to do some other thing and weasel out of it and whatever. Or even worse, you showing up and doing something that you don't want to do, or you continuing to do something that you don't want to do, and you wind up being remorseful, regretful, and feeling taken advantage of down the line. Now, my second tip here, and this is a point to always remember, is that you are going to upset people, okay? You cannot make everyone happy. Even Aristotle said, in order to avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. And I used to add on to that quote that even if you do say and be nothing, people still criticize you now for not doing anything and being lazy, right? So people are not going to agree with you. They're going to criticize you. They're not always going to like you. You can't make everyone happy, okay? When you have this unrealistic expectation that you need to do things in order for people to like you or in order to be accepted or whatever it may be, and you need to always make people happy, you're going to let yourself down. A great example of this is, one of my students actually asked me recently, how do you deal so easily with rejection and say girls canceling date plans or something like that? And I said, I deal with it so easily because I expect it, right? I expect some women to not be interested in me. I expect some guys to not want to be friends with me. I expect some people to not like me and not like what I do. You cannot make everyone happy. There was a great analogy that was given at a marketing event that I went to. And the guy said that if we try to make a pizza, okay, to appease everybody in this group, say there was like, I think it was like 30 to 50 people in the room. If we try to make a pizza for everybody in this room, it would have to be gluten-free, dairy-free, meat-free, sugar-free. It would have to be all these things that by the time we made this pizza that could fit into everyone's specific needs, it would taste like crap and nobody would like it. You're better off making a delicious pizza that serves some people in the room and other people don't like it. And that was a great point. I was talking about businesses and having a niche, but if you think about that in general, you are who you are. You know, you're a niche and you serve something up, and some people are not going to like it. You know, think of presidents, right? There's so many different presidents that have been through the years. Some people think the president is the best person in the world, and then some people think they're a devil, you know, and it's like everyone's perspective just changes, you know. A funny example of this is my YouTube channel, right? I put these videos out. These videos are free, and I'm giving value and trying to help people out. And most of the time, you know, over 90% of my comments, everyone's really grateful. This channel is amazing. You helped me. All these great comments, which I really appreciate. And then every now and then, I get a comment, oh, this is bullshit, or the same stupid dating advice, or some type of, I don't even know where people get these the negative things to say to some of this stuff. But it used to bother me when I first started the channel, but now I realize that stuff is going to happen, and that is okay. That person watching has the right to not enjoy what I put out, and that's totally fine. I do, and I put out what I want because I want to help, and the people who can benefit from it and respect it, those are the people that I want to watch my stuff, and those are the people that I enjoy, you know, sharing this with. The people who aren't interested in it, they're not going to watch anyway, so you're not going to make them happy. You have to always realize that there's always going to be a group of people and a certain type of people. No matter what you do, you're not going to please them. So that being said, you're better off, like I said, asking that question and doing what you want in the first place, because you're never going to make everyone happy. My third point, and this is a point that I got from Wayne Dyer, is that people respect strength. And this goes right in with those first 2 points. When you have a decision to make and you say, you know, I'm actually going to do this, I'm not going to make it to that, or I'm not too interested in that, or I'm not feeling like doing that, I'm going to do this instead. When you stand by your word, when you have integrity, when you have discipline and say, look, you know, a good example of this is, you know, I go out to eat with my friends a lot. Well, not I don't go out to eat with my friends a lot, but sometimes I'm with friends and they want to go out to eat a lot, and I have to say, look, you know, I'd love to go and get sushi with you, or pizza, or hamburgers, or whatever, but I'm on a diet right now, and I'm eating a certain way because I want to get into shape. And nothing against you, eat what you want, but I have to do what I need to do, right? And I'll say that, and I've had to say that many times throughout the years to get into shape. And you know what? Yeah, people are upset right away, and some people may not understand it, and those won't wind up being your friends, but people respect me, they respect my discipline, and they respect that I'm working towards my results, okay? Sometimes, you know, people who are working hard on something may not be able to go to as many social events, and they'll have to say something like that, okay? You have to operate from a strength in a confidence and in a sacrifice in what you're going for, or maybe not even a sacrifice, you know, a want and a desire. You want to do X, so you can't do Y, okay? And a lot of people, like I said, if you're a people pleaser, you wind up doing these things to make other people happy, okay? I'm trying to make other people happy. No, you need to do what you need to do and put yourself first, okay? You need to do your disciplines and take care of your stuff first, because if you don't do that, then who are you? You're nobody. Those are the things that make you who you are. The fourth point I want to make here for you is that you need to be careful to not invest in people that don't reciprocate, okay? A lot of times, being a nice person, you can definitely get taken advantage of, okay? Now, I always think you should treat people how you want to be treated. I think that you should be nice to people up front for sure. But you have to very quickly be able to assess if this person is going to reciprocate or not. If they don't, that's fine. You can move on. You don't need anything from anybody. But if it's somebody who you're going to have some type of relationship with, whether it's a working relationship, a friendship, a romantic relationship, any type of dialogue and an interaction that's going to last more than one meeting, you're going to have to be very keen on if this person is going to reciprocate or not. Because if they're not, then this is not going to be something that is worth investing your time in. So a perfect example of this is I consider myself a very good listener. Now, you watch me on YouTube, so you see me talking for 15 minutes straight and whatever it may not be. But as a friend, I like to listen. You know, I think you learn when you listen. If you say stuff, you're just repeating the things you already know. And, you know, that is a way to make really good friends as well, too, is to listen and give people your genuine interest. So it's something that I really do abide by. But what happens a lot, and you'll see this a lot with people pleasers, is that they'll get into conversations, whether it's on the phone or just an in-person interaction, one-on-one, whatever it may be, and they sit there and listen. You know, one thing that Wayne Dyer said, I remember, he's like, I believe it was in Your Erroneous Zones, he said, when you're on a phone call with somebody, and even if it's a family member or something like that, keep track of how much time you talk versus they talk. You know, I've had conversations with people where I may do less than 5% of the talking on the phone, and they're doing, you know, over 95% of the talking, and the conversations are 20, 30, God forbid, an hour long, whatever it may be. And if you want to listen and someone's telling you a story, whatever, and you're cool with it, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if someone never asks you how you're doing, or they never want to hear about you and they're just talking too much, you know, this is somebody who may be taking advantage of your kindness, okay? And you may be doing it because you feel that's what you need to do to please them, but it's something to keep keen and keep mind of so you don't fall into a trap like that, okay? Look, and if you are, you know, messaging someone, you're making plans to get together, you're investing in them, doing things for them, being a great friend to them, and they're not reciprocating that, then that maybe somebody who you need to spend less time with, talk on the phone a little bit less with, or you may need to find other people that are worth investing your time in because they respect, love, and enjoy your company as well too, and they show that by giving to you as well. Now, the fifth point I want to make here is a question, and the question I wrote is, where does this people-pleasing come from? Okay, even if you have to pause this video or do some journaling after this, sit down for a second and write and think, you know, where does this people-pleasing come from? Was it something that your mother or your father told you when you were younger? Oh, you got to be kind to people and put others first and all this stuff. Was it, you know, a need for acceptance or a need for approval that you got when you were younger? Was it something that you felt you needed to do these things or people wouldn't like you? You know, asking deep questions like this will help you come to see some of these reasons why you're being held back. You know, it could be that you feel you don't like yourself enough and you feel lonely, or you feel that you need to do this in order for people to like you. It may boil down to that you don't like yourself enough and you need other people's approval. You need their affirmation and their validation to think more highly of yourself. You need to be your biggest fan. You need to be your best friend. And that actually is my last point. My last point here is that your relationship with yourself is number one, and that has to always come first. You can't pour from an empty cup, okay? You can't give somebody what you don't have, okay? You have to think of yourself first. And you might say, oh, that's selfish, or that's arrogant, or that's this, or that's that. Self-love and thinking you're a great person and working on yourself and feeling at peace and being a great person allows you to be better and to bring other people up, okay? It actually helps you be a better person to other people by taking care of yourself, okay? When I was on the airplane a week ago, what do they say on every single airplane? Secure your mask first before you help somebody else out. You're no good to anyone else dead if you can't breathe, right? You need to take care of yourself and work on your relationship with yourself first before you worry about pleasing anybody else. And that's probably the most important point of this video. I should film an entire video just on that topic. But make sure to put yourself first, to work on yourself and do things for you. Do things because it makes you happy, okay? Don't compromise your happiness, your peace of mind, and your success for someone else. Why? You know, you may, okay, maybe somebody's worth it to do that here and there and help them out, and that's how you be a good friend. But if you're doing that all the time because you have this people pleaser mentality, then you're going to wind up draining yourself out, getting taken advantage of, and having the wrong people in your life. So I hope you enjoyed these points in this video. Let me know if you have any questions on the points. on this video. And if you need any clarification on it, I'll film another video for you. And while you're at it, feel free to check out all the other videos that I have for you here on my channel.